I be with the hit maker? Baby, come give me something, oh.
October already ignited here on the scoreboard with Alyssa Conley. Alyssa, let's speak education. Let's speak something which is amazing, something that you will never be fatigued from being educated. You can never. Yes, you can get exhausted after a great study, but it is something that you will have it for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And then your athletic time will come to an end. You will either go and be a coach, or you will either go into administration, but you still have a short time on the track as an athlete in the elite. Then you have to have education, which we encourage everybody to have, to go for that, you know. And then you yourself have studied, and I mean, like, let's just speak of firstly, I mean, like, sports management. I think it is one thing that most athletes would preferably go for.
Yeah.
Is it because perhaps when you realize that you are an athlete, and then one thing that it comes to your mind, I mean, like, at the first time of trying and thinking of education, then sports, and then the course naturally comes to an athlete?
I don't think so. I think we have a lot of athletes that are studying different things. I think it all depends on your interests. Me personally, I grew up in a household that were sports crazy. My sister's in sports, I'm in sports, my mom and dad love sport. You know, they motivated us and they supported us to be part of sporting teams. And I just don't see myself in a corporate environment, you know, in insurance or accounting, or that's just not my interest. And if I always say that you need to be happy with the job that you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's most important. So yeah, so for me personally, it was just preference and interest that drew me to sports. I won't say it's because we're professional athletes, because the people I studied with in my years weren't athletes at all. So yeah.
I mean, like, you speak of a great deal, and then it's one thing to do things because you can, but it's also another thing for doing things because you love what you're doing. And then when you love what you do, Bill Gates will tell you that you will never work a single day.
Exactly.
Is it easier for you to study all these courses?
Yeah, I think it came naturally to me. It wasn't something that I had to bust my brain and stress and pull my hair out, you know. Studying was a breeze, going to class was a breeze, because I understood what's happening, I understand the body, I understand anatomy, I understand how it works within sports or physical activity. So yeah, it all worked well together.
And what sort of satisfaction do you get when you get to a point where you realize that you are someone who has a degree, honors? What sort of satisfaction does one get?
I think it's definitely important. Like I said, I come from a household where education was key, it was first. My parents were very strict. If I got bad marks, I wasn't allowed to run the race. They even pulled me out of a competition once because my marks was pathetic, and they said to me, Alyssa, you've got to put up your socks and get those marks high. And it's definitely important because, like you said, you never know how long or short your sporting career can be. There's a lot of things that can influence that, and I'm not saying be negative and, you know, don't think it's going to be a long, successful career, but you always need to support yourself and have backup, you know, so that you can get that job that you really want once your sporting career is done. I mean, you don't want to just finish your career and accept a job just because you need the finances, you know. So I'm very happy that I do have the honors behind my name. Hopefully one day, if my dad's listening, he'll be very happy to hear I'll do masters and get my master's degree. Yeah, and just follow my dreams and my passions.
Apart from sports, is there any, perhaps maybe something that you would have loved to study?
Apart from sport, maybe I would have tried to go into the flight team, like the pilot world.
Is it?
Yeah, the Air Force services and stuff. Maybe, I don't know, it's interesting. Even though I'm afraid of heights, I don't know. I like driving fast cars, and I like, you know, being behind the wheel and controlling things. So I think that would have been a bit interesting for me. Other academic careers, probably business. I'm very business orientated. I just want to open businesses and, you know, have businesses running. So maybe business would have been an interest as well. Yeah.
I mean, like, you love the fast things. You say sports cars is your things.
Yeah.
Your favorite car?
So many. How do I choose?
Yeah. Just go for two.
Okay, so obviously we have to go McLaren.
Yeah.
Type of vibes, Mustang, Ford Mustang. I'd love to drive Ford Mustang one day.
Yeah.
Bring it a little down, I've always, when I was a small kid, S3 was always my thing, the RS3 Audi. I want something more classy as well, like your M35 Mark. I like your old school cars as well. So, sure, I don't know. I told my mom last night that if ever I can, I'll have a garage full of cars.
Yeah.
And I'll have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No, I'm joking.
You will have a Mayweather type of vibe.
Yeah, no, we can all dream, right?
Definitely, we must, because I mean, like, that's the beginning of everything.
No,
And then you speaking of dreams, and achievements are part of dreams, and you have achieved. Being at Durban and receiving a gold medal, was it something that you have expected on the event to happen? The hunger was there, but because you know, one thing is there's one thing asking someone a question is that what I want to get out of people is that do you really look at your opponents and say that I mean, like, this one's I'm really gonna tear them down?
Yeah. I think the best thing for me was coming back after 4 years and still being able to compete at such a level. I was very doubtful, I was like, oh no, I'm going back, I haven't raced in 4 years' time. They're going to tear me up.
Yeah.
So just being able to, get back to speed and competing again was amazing for me. But to take it back there, before the race, you have to tell yourself, it's mine today.
Yeah.
If you don't, and if you're scared of your opponent, it's not going to happen. So before the race, I did tell myself, as the commentator was introducing us and saying our names, and the commentator introduced the lady that was my toughest competition, I was like, she got nothing on me today.
Yeah.
So you have to have that confidence, you have to go in there with that winning attitude, and it will happen.
Is it the way then you break the tie? Then, because now you're telling yourself that I'm gonna win against this person.
Yeah.
Then the tie now is been broken. It's yours.
It's done, because we've all done our training. We've all gone through the process and the steps. When you're at that blocks, it's all about mental strength. Keeping your composure and going through your phases. And if you allow your opponents to get into your mind, or to break it down mentally, or to lose your focus because of your opponent, it's done. Especially
when they call out their names, and then you start to realize that they've cheered more for her than they've cheered for you.
Yeah.
Because that's what sports does. There's someone else who's going to change the complexion of your attitude towards the race.
Definitely.
Because athletes soccer players will tell you that we have a 12th man. Rugby players will tell you that they have a 16th man. In the sevens, they will call you that number 8 man on the stand is very much crucial.
Yeah.
There's something as a home ground. And how do you, as an athlete, go about having a home ground? Because when you look at the athletes like Usain Bolt, he can go to London, and he would go to London and still be the favorites again in the crowds, even though they are athletes from London there. But all people from London will be like, yo, Usain is our man.
Yeah, I guess it's just them appreciating his talent and his art. Because when he goes out there, it's he's just showcasing his art.
He's flamboyant.
It's amazing. It's amazing to watch, and it's nice that even though you UK born and bred, you still appreciate what the Jamaican is doing, or American, or South African. And I think that is when it becomes fair play. If you're really excellent at what you're doing, then everybody should appreciate watching you. Because that is amazing to see, like live right in front of you, and I think that you should get the credit. The thing I like about European athletics, though, is that they'll cheer for you, whether you win or lose, whether you amazing or not amazing.
Sportsmanship.
They're there to support track and field, and they really support you and carry you through the race, whether you're coming last or whether you come first. They don't just stop clapping if the first person has already crossed the line, and that motivates you as well. But as an athlete, you're so focused on your race and what you have to do and the job ahead of you that you don't really worry about who's being cheered for louder, or what the crowd is doing, what the crowd is saying. You actually block all of that out, and you're just in your zone and focused on your lane. In your zone,
I love that. Like all the races that you've ran, the 100 meters and 200, and then the 4x100 relay. Which one would you say has been the toughest race?
For me, 100 meters is always the toughest. I feel like it's very explosive. It's very quick. There's very little room for error. So if you don't get out of those blocks from the start, and if you don't have a good drive phase, it's very difficult to catch up within the other phases of your race. So 100 meter is extremely tough for me. 200 meter is my favorite race. I go in there just smiling and happy because I know this is my race. I love to run it. But I guess throughout my career, the toughest race was probably the Africa Champs 200 meters, racing against Talou from the Ivory Coast. So it was a very close, tight race, and yeah, it was very grueling. I thought I had her, and it was very close. So yeah, but it was a good race. It was a very good race.
I mean, you have friends, and normally when you go to races, do you normally get a lot of calls, messages, people saying that Ali, I know you're gonna do it, and then they start bringing all these nicknames and then calling you. You are you know you are a tiger, you know you are a springbok, you know you are a lion. Do you get sort of support that really gets you off, the pressure?
Yeah, no, definitely.
What do they really say?
Yeah, I have an amazing support system. I mean, even people I don't know, they'll message me and be like, "Oh my gosh, you motivate me so much, like just to get back to my training and to work hard." And they mainly call me Speedy or Speedstar or Speedster or AC Tiger or something like that. They come up with their funny names that they call me. But yeah, I definitely get some very nice inspirational messages. I remember last year 100-meter national finals. Just before the final, I was very emotional because I was in my zone.
Yeah.
So when I get in my zone, I can sometimes get emotional. And one of the previous athletes came to me and they were like, "No, you got this. Just trust in the Lord and you've done the work and have faith and go do your thing." And it's just those small little things that prepare you for what's ahead of you. So yeah, it's very important to get those messages, and I do read every one of them. I try to reply sometimes, but I do read them.
Even though they can come mean as hell, thick as grass, and there'll be so many, and then you end up not replying to many, and you have to forgive yourself.
Yeah.
And then there's one athlete, I think, let's just hear if this message will be very much inspirational.
I appreciate those words.
From one speedster to another.
Yeah.
Now it has been confirmed. Well, we heard from you that you're a speedster, and Mapasika has just said it.
Yeah.
You're a speedster.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you get such respect from other athletes, I would be very much happy if I would had even my colleagues here, if they would say after a show, be like, "Ah, man, that was one killer show." Then I feel good. Not that I want my colleagues to always be saying that to me, but if someone would be saying that, especially if I was not expecting it, it's very, very much nice. When you get such messages from your fellow colleagues, and then what does it bring to you?
Since I got a taste of your love, baby, come give me something. Oh, ooh,